Good day everyone, welcome to this video. Today it's a request by DaveSchilling for the JU-87 B-2, one of my favourite troll planes. However, as you may notice, we are in a test flight. He's requested me to do this specifically. Digital Time Traveller, this one's for you, buddy. For those of you that don't know, this thing features Jericho trumpets, which in a moment will start kicking in. And I'm just gonna do this all the way down, because apparently Digital Time Traveller really hates the sirens, so this one's for you, buddy. This is how we're starting off. Then I'm gonna go into the history of the plane and everything else. And don't worry, I'm gonna pull out, unlike most people in the UK it seems. And there we go. Sirens will stop any second now. But the B-2 is the only Stuka in game with these sirens, which is a shame. And there we go. So let's return to the hangar and then I can go over the plane. So the JU-87 as a whole started off... I don't know why my hangar's looking like this. I reckon it's something to do with my graphics card or something. But the JU-87 was, well, it was one of the most common dive bombers ever used by the Germans during World War II. Served right up until the war's end, and, well, it was a cracking plane in my opinion. Once it got towards the end of the war, however, these Jericho trumpets weren't as effective because obviously Allied air power, anti-aircraft guns got superior. And sadly, the JU-87's fear factor, which it had in the first part of the war, was no longer present. And it's, well, planes will get obsolete at some point. It's like propeller planes were mostly not used after 1946 because obviously we had jet fighters. But we still have prop planes in service to this day. So prop planes are useful, but the JU-87 during the early 30s was one of the best dive bombers ever invented. It could dive straight down. The air brakes could recover it out of a dive if the pilot passed out due to the G-forces. It was a revolutionary plane, and it really was amazing. Hans Ulrich Rudel, I think his name is, was one of the most well-known JU-87G pilots. He flew the Gustavs with the 37mm. He destroyed several T-34, KV-1 tanks and things like that. He served on the Eastern Front. I believe he served right up until the war's end. And well, the JU-87 is represented by a lot of models in game. We have the B-2, the R-2, the D-3, the D-5, and the 2Gs. The sad thing is that I'd want to see the A variants added, aka the A1 and A2, because they have the same armament as this JU-87, but in order to carry the 500 kilogram bomb, which you could carry on this thing, in the A variant, you would have to remove the rear gunner, and I think that would be rather interesting. And not only that, it's an early version of the Stuka with even more weirder looking landing gear. But anyway, I've blabbered on a bit too much. Let's get into the battle. Because, well, I'm going to use the JU-87 as a very unorthodox plane. Most people would obviously use it as a dive bomber, and I see a lot of people doing that. You're doing it wrong. But, yeah, so the JU-87 B-2 has always been one of my favourite troll planes, and we've got a match. Lovely. I apologise if you can only vehicles outside. I've got the windows open. It's been a bit hot for the computer today. But I tend to use the JU-87s as a whole as more of an unorthodox fighter. They work well in my service because you've got two machine guns in the front, you've got a machine gun in the back. The Stuka can take a lot of damage. And well, yeah, so why not? Okay, so we are in a battle rating 2 game. I'm suspecting this guy might be a step header. No, he's not. Thank God for that. What about you? I swear I've seen your name. Yep, step header. There's always one, isn't there? Look at that. Jesus Christ, grow up. Anyway, so this isn't about moaning about 191 stat patterns, I do that enough. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do when you're in a Stuka. Obviously, we are over friendly ground targets, so I'm not going to do it yet. But normally, most people would put on the 500 kilogram bomb, I think it is. At least I think it's 500. Oh no, it's 250. And the 4 wing bombs and just go in and kill ground targets. That's not how I fly this thing. Okay, I think we are safe to drop the bomb. And there we go. That's what you do. Now, sadly, the JU-87 has gone through various flight model changes, and unfortunately, it overheats quite badly now. Which is a shame. I mean, it's got a big, massive air intake. You'd have thought it'd be fine, but no. So yeah, battle rating 2 game, I'll take that. SB-2M bomber coming in. Either he's trying to use that nose turret, which is just as dangerous as my forward armament, or he's just flying like an idiot. Probably the latter. Let's get him, shall we? Engine fire, beautiful. I'm gonna go for the plenum. And there's them sirens again. But obviously we're in a pitch-up maneuver here, so good hits on the plenum. Okay, the SP2M's fire has gone out. But he is on one engine, and they are very slow on one engine. The SB-2M was, during its time period, one of the fastest twin-engine bombers, but obviously here in War Thunder, if you knacker one of its engines, it's kind of screwed. I mean, you can see here he is pissing fuel everywhere. Possibly even smoke from oil and things like that, but I am easily gaining on him. And I'm in a Stuka, for Christ's sake. Now I do have to watch out for his gunners, and there you can see the left, or the right engine, sorry, spluttering to a halt. And there we go, first air kill. So yeah, if you've never tried this thing as a heavy fighter, I recommend you do. I say heavy fighter, because normally heavy fighter is more of a twin engine aspect, and here you can see the overheat really kicking in. But yeah, this plane is a lot of fun. I do have a lot of fun flying this bird. I mean, she's a great plane, she's maneuverable, she can match most planes it sees, has a good climb rate for a dive bomber, and well, Dave requested me to fly her, just to mainly piss off DTT with the Jericho trumpets. I will gladly do that. I love winding people up, it's one of my favourite things in life. Aside from roasting and insulting people. Not enough lead, I don't think. No, I'm giving it too much lead. This proves how long it's been since I've flown this bird. Yeah, I'm going to boil my engine if I do any more of that. I'm just going to cut the engine up a brief moment. There we go, that'll do. I'll let the Ki 43 catch him up, because, well, he can actually catch him. Gonna go for that P-36 down there. He seems to be a good pilot, so that Blenheim's trying to be a heavy fighter now. He's learned my trick. I might even try it in a Blenheim. Okay, we've got Willie Foo, who has been padding his stats as per usual. Okay, dive brakes just to help me slow down a bit. Dive brakes back in, obviously. Willie Foo is going straight in for that kill. And I'm going to nick it off him because, well, fuck stat padders. Yeah, she's locking up a bit. This thing does lock up in high speed maneuvers and dives. There we go. And he's giving me a thank you, like a bravo, so thank you very much, pal. Okay, in terms of priority, I want to go for that Chiker. But it has been quite a while. Okay, he's going for that Chiker, that's perfectly acceptable. Willie Foo does need to pad his stats after all, he does need kills. Well, he doesn't, but gloss over that fact. There we go, third air kill, beautiful. Now got the I-15 on us, obviously this thing would have seen I-15s. Let's see if we can get on the tail gunner. Okay, the team's starting to engage him. That's lovely. Okay, let's swing it back round. The air brakes are in, so that's good news. Willy Foo just took him out. Beautiful. Quickly drop him a nice working shot. We've only got 72 rounds of MG ammo left in the front guns. But that's perfectly acceptable. We can kill a ground target or two and then bugger off back to base. Oh, the game's over. Even better. Okay, well that's it then. Come on, can we get this ground target for the match ends? I don't think we will. Oh, we got it. Beautiful. Game's over. Good game, people. 3 air targets destroyed, 1 ground target destroyed. I'll take that. So I hope you enjoyed that little twist on a sub request there, DaveSchilling. But yeah, it was a fun game to play, that's for certain. I love playing my B-2 as a heavy fighter. I don't remember the last time I flew it till now. That's how long it's been, but when I do fly her, I always have a fun game. See, look, 43 air kills, 13 ground targets, 265 ground targets killed. Did I say ground targets for deaths? I think I did. But the reason why I have so many kills on my ground target kills is because I grinded every single camouflage for my plane. So obviously you got the standard Battle of Britain camouflage, SCG-77, which puts this little shark nose on the front. SCG-3, which is more like a desert Africa core campaign sort of thing. The campaign, or the camouflage that I use, STG-77, I nicknamed this plane Cyclops because of this prop hub. It looks like it's got a Cyclops' eye or something. So yeah, interesting nickname for you there, in case you've never used it. This camouflage, I'm pretty certain was on the Eastern Front, or Operation Barbarossa, so it would have been on the Western Front, I think. Well, no, Operation Barbarossa was Eastern Front, if I remember rightly. Then you've got a Bulgarian camouflage, which doesn't really change much. It's just that this plane would have seen service in Bulgaria. Obviously the winter camo, which you tend to see on JU-87s of the Eastern Front. And finally SCG-3, which is another Desert Africa Core Campaign one. This is the last camouflage you can unlock. But as you can tell, I love this camo because it just suits the plane a lot better. And obviously the nickname Cyclops only applies with this skin. If you haven't got it, it's only 135 ground targets. Divide that by 2, so that is around about 67, 68 ground targets to kill. 68 to be precise. Obviously that's only to unlock that camouflage. In order to get the other camouflages, you'll have to do nearly 100. But it's all worth it because this plane will clean up ground targets. But if you want to go a bit more creative, use it how I just did. Anyway, I'll catch you all on the next one, and I hope you enjoyed.